Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Talkback Thursday. My name is Christopher Hecox. I'm the Executive Director of the Jay and Susie Gouge Performing Arts Center at Auburn University. We're thrilled to have a few filmmakers here on our Talkback Thursday today, Walt Waltos and Daniel Waltos. How are you all doing?
Doing great. Thank you, Chris.
Very good. Thank you.
Good. Well, we're streaming across the country right now. Daniel's in California, Walt's here in Alabama with me, but we're glad that everybody's here to join us. We're really excited because we're here today because we're talking about the new movie, Do Not Reply, that your company, Iron Compass Entertainment, put out last year. And before we get started, we thought we'd go ahead and show the trailer for it. So let's go ahead and show that.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan just sent me a picture of his thing.
Seriously?
I think he's gonna ask me to be his girlfriend. I mean, don't you think so?
How would I know? I can't seem to get a boyfriend.
Yeah, what if you just put yourself out there?
Oh, he's cute. Can I talk to him?
Give it to me.
Oh, so you have a secret admirer.
No, I don't. Hello?
So now you're ready to go on a date?
I think so. I mean, I know we haven't seen each other in person, but I feel like we know more about each other than people who meet normally.
I have an idea. Halloween is this Friday. I saw an ad for a warehouse party.
Okay, what would I go as?
How about a zombie cheerleader? You are the most beautiful dead girl I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Good morning, Sadie.
Brad, you know my name is Chelsea.
Your name is Sadie now.
Who are you?
I'm Sadie. I'm stopping us from getting into trouble.
What's your name?
Sadie?
Your real name.
It's Sadie.
Good girl.
You need to bleach your hair now.
What? Why?
Because Brad says so. Everything is because Brad says so.
Is something wrong, Sadie? You can tell me.
I miss my mom.
This is your new family.
Has anyone even tried to find a way out?
Don't talk about that. We have to work together. It's our only chance.
No, we don't.
I'm not your sister, Sadie!
He's planning to kill you. Today. You're just trying to turn me against him.
Intense, guys.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and start. How did you all come up with the idea for the movie?
Okay.
Daniel.
The original script was written back in 1999-2000 when AOL chat rooms were the way to meet people online. And I thought at the time, there was You've Got Mail came out, and I thought, well, what about some of the stories you hear about people getting abducted or other worse things happening? And so I wrote a story about it, and it was really kind of ahead of the time where it was a little bit more taboo at that time to meet people and date people that you met on the internet. And so it was probably very fresh back then, but we shelved the project and we were working on some other things, and we thought, well, let's make a film. What's it going to be? And Walt said, well, what about No More Lies, it was called at the time. And so we pulled the script out of the cobwebs and read it, and it was it was a little dated. It was more with that technology, and so we had to kind of do a page one rewrite, and we wrote it to shoot it on a lower budget. So we had kind of more of a one location scenario, and we updated it to today's social media type Instagram thing, which is now very common, and the rate of abductions have gone up so much in the last 4 years alone that it made it more relevant today than it was back in 2000.
So when did you guys shoot the film?
Well, we started shooting in January of 2018 and finished 5 weeks later. The first week we ended up shooting on a Friday night in a warehouse where the Halloween party scene was, and went into about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, which shifted all the subsequent weeks because of the SAG rules on how many hours a week you can work and what days and how many days off you have to have. So kind of threw a curve there a little bit, but it all worked out. But it was a 5-week shoot.
5-week shoot, and then production and all of that, and then you started to do. I guess we call it a soft release and release into film festivals last year. You want to talk about kind of the what you guys have heard back, and some of the accolades that you guys have received for the movie from the film festivals?
Daniel?
Sure. Yes, we did have our festival run last year, and we ended up getting into 6 or 7 film festivals, and we won a few of awards and got nominated for many. And some of the nominations included Best Cinematography, Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Picture, Best Director. So we got a lot of decent nominations. Mm-hmm. We won Best Poster and Best Trailer at the Orlando Film Festival, and that was beating out Jojo Rabbit, who was also in competition.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that was very nice. And we also, Jackson Rathbone, who plays the villain in this film, won Best Actor at the New York City Horror Film Festival. And we've so it's been a nice festival run, and we haven't released the film yet. It will be released this year. It looks like as early as October.
Right. Well, I know some cinemas are going to start opening back up in the next month or so. I know AMC is planning on it. So is the intent to have it go into some theaters, but also do some virtual or some streaming options as well?
The distributor that we have is very keen on putting the film in theaters if the situation allows it. And so it looks like the situation might allow it. We also have the option of putting it into theaters ourselves in conjunction with what they're doing. And so I feel like we'll be somewhere, although it's going to be a limited release. And outside of that, it will be, up for sale and rental. And, as time goes on, it would potentially get on the streaming services that people subscribe to later on. That's
great. So when we first started talking, you said that you started writing this. It was almost, 10 years ago, and it sat on a shelf and did that. So how, what is your process? Like you and Walt, what do you guys work on day to day with the company? Are you writing and then putting stuff away for future use, or kind of tell everybody, how Iron Compass Entertainment works?
Okay, I'll tackle that one a little bit. Well, first, just on Do Not Reply, it was a 5-week shoot. Mm-hmm. And post-production ended very recently. So
it never ends, right?
It takes a long time to do all the post. And when I say post-production, we actually had the film, quote, in the can a while back, but doing everything that's required to distribute it is quite a laundry list, all the different formats that you have, and uploading files that are hundreds of gigabytes and hoping that the upload goes all the way through before it crashes right near the end. And things like that has been a little bit of an ordeal dealing with that. And I have to say, Daniel and his wife, Yvonne, who plays Mia in the movie, the one that was on the cell phone there in the opening scene, they have done a tremendous job in dealing with our sales agent, VMI, and our distributor for North America, Gravitas, in handling all of that tremendous laundry list of things that needed to be done. And then they've done a tremendous job also with social media. I don't have the latest numbers, Daniel. Why don't you give a summary of what we've gotten in terms of the feedback on social media?
Yeah, it's been actually quite nice. A lot of feedback in a very interesting demographic from female viewers of the trailer, and especially mothers who have teenage daughters that do worry about this sort of problem of abductions through social media. And you can Google social media abductions and you'll just see how many there are constantly. So our trailer itself has accumulated over 4 million views.
Wow.
One channel has over 3.6 million views, and they released it this year. And so it's getting out there. People are seeing the trailer. Our Facebook, Instagram, users are in the thousands cumulatively. And so right now the film's going to be pushed out for the release is for early October. So I'm sure we'll be gaining ground in that area as well.
Gotcha. So you want to give us that information, the social media information, so we can share it with our viewers?
Yes, well, we can be found on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter as at Do Not Reply Movie altogether.
Great. So everyone check that out. You can watch the trailer there as well.
Also, you can go to our website at donotReplyMovie.com, and the links will be there as well.
Great. So what was the process with you all in casting? You said, Daniel, your wife's in the movie, but there's a lot of great actors and actresses in the movie as well. Wondering how casting went for this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a fun process. I forget how many hundred people that we auditioned for the different roles. Our friend Jackson Rathbone, who played Jasper in the Twilight Saga series of movies, was one of the folks that we auditioned, and we felt very fortunate for Jackson to accept the offer and to become part of this movie. We caught him at a good time when he was between other projects, and he kicked it up right out of the park. I think Daniel mentioned he won Best Actor and was nominated for Best Actor at different film festivals. Our lead female, Amanda Arcuri, won Best Actor also and was nominated at several film festivals. And she was from Toronto, Canada, and actually had an experience a little bit like this experience. She didn't actually get kidnapped, but she was sitting on a bench waiting for a bus, and late at night in Toronto, and a guy started speaking very strangely to her. So she identified a little bit with the predicament that you can get into. But Amanda sent in a videotape, because she had never even been in the U.S. at the time that she auditioned. And, we auditioned a number of people for that role. And when we saw her tape, we just said, wow, she's Chelsea. She's got it down. I do want to say, and of course, I have a very good friend, an Auburn graduate, Tom Gossam Jr., who I really wanted to get either him or Michael O'Neill, another Auburn graduate, into the film. Tom accepted and played a psychologist near the end of the movie, and did, of course, a very wonderful job, as you would expect from Tom.
Well, it's great. You got Auburn alum in there.
Absolutely. And so co-written and co-directed and co-produced by an Auburn alum and starring an Auburn alum.
That's great.
And, Yvonne Mian, Daniel's wife, Yvonne Waltos, but her screen name is Yvonne Mian, plays Mia, Chelsea's best friend in the movie. I do want to say that, the trailer comes across almost like pure horror. I don't really consider the movie pure horror. I consider it more of a psychological thriller. There is an element of horror in there enough to support the story, but it's not a Chainsaw Massacre type movie. We didn't go for gratuitous violence or sex or anything like that. It really was just enough to support the story and send a social message. We really feel like this film sends an important social message. The number of human trafficking abductions in the city of San Diego, just the city of San Diego alone, is on the order of 8,000 a year. I mean, that's one city. And of course, it's close to the border, so it's going to be high. But this is a serious problem.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the movie, we say the average age of girls getting abducted, and it's usually girls, but some boys, is around, what was it, 12, Daniel?
15.
15,
Wow.
sorry, 15. But that means some are as young as 12. So, you really got to, and you can't, but you got to try to stay on top of what your kids are doing online. It's so hard to police that as a parent. You just can't. The kids can get into websites that we never even heard of.
Yep.
I mean, who heard of TikTok before a few weeks ago? I didn't. Probably a lot of people did, but I didn't.
So I know that we have some production stills. I want to go through those. Daniel, do you have? I think we're going to put them up and then have you guys comment on them a little bit.
Okay. Maybe we can alternate here. I'll take the first one.
Okay.
This still here is of Amanda Arcuri playing Chelsea. She is sending some images that she took of herself to her online suitor. And this is in the earlier part of the movie, and this is kind of the innocence before the fall. And don't want to say too much about why she's doing that or why she's wearing what she's wearing, because you'll find that out in the movie. But this just is really the before picture of what happens.
So this was the warehouse in Los Angeles that I mentioned, where we shot the Halloween party on a Friday night. So as you saw in the trailer, Brad, who plays the internet predator, convinces Chelsea to meet him at a Halloween party. And of course, that way he can be in costume, she can be in a cheerleader's outfit, and he can be disguised enough so that it wouldn't be easy for anyone to identify him later on.
And here's Jackson Rathbone. He is and delivered constant, intense, and emotionally subtle moments in this film that really sold the emotion that he had. And I think from the still you can tell that his eyes are very much in a little bit of either focus or pain, and he just delivered every minute of the film.
So this is mealtime. As you can see, there are 3 girls there dressed in cheerleading outfits, part of the theme. And again, I won't spoil it, but clearly Jackson, as Brad, dominates the scene in terms of his look of authority and sternness and so on. And the girls are quite subservient to him in that environment.
And here is Jackson Rathbone again, wearing the virtual reality camera helmet that he designed. And he's testing it out with this knife here to see how it will look when he uses it in a different fashion. And so this helmet is comprised of 14 or 16 different GoPro cameras, or GoPro-like cameras, action cameras, that will film the scene in 360 degrees.
That's great. So did you guys, we were talking a little bit about how you cast the movie. Was Jackson like who you wanted from the get-go, or did you go after him, or did he audition? What was that process like?
Well, we did audition. I forget how many Brads we saw. I'd say at least 28 or so. And we were very open with who could play the role based on, who we'd really like to work with, how they were at the audition, how they did the audition. Mm-hmm. And, Jackson just came in, was extremely comfortable and approachable, and, just very conversational. And, we've seen his work up on screen. And so, the audition was good, and we knew that he could execute and had a lot of experience. So, you want to spend all these weeks with somebody who you want to work with. And he was, he won the part.
That's great. That's great. Well, again, we're here with Walt and Daniel Waltos, the writers, directors, and producers of the movie Do Not Reply. Very happy to have you all here. Wanted to kind of talk about some new projects. Do you guys have anything that you're working on now? We're in COVID, production schedules, like shooting is probably not happening as much. You want to tell everybody what Iron Compass is doing right now. You don't have to get specific, but what you guys are working on.
Sure. Well, the name Iron Compass comes from the early days of aviation around World War I, when there were no radio navigation aids, and pilots would fly from town to town following the railroad tracks. That was their Iron Compass. I'm a pilot, but Daniel's the one that actually thought of that and came up with the name. So I thought that was really, really cool. And our logo is the old biplane of that era. And that comes from the first script that we developed over about a 5-year period about Bessie Coleman. This is a real person who lived in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and became the first African-American pilot and the first American to have an international pilot's license. Before Amelia Earhart had a license, Bessie Coleman got her license. everyone knows about Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
No one hardly knows about Bessie Coleman. So our mission was basically to get her name out there and get her in the history books where she belongs. It's a fantastic story. It might end up being a miniseries. We wrote it as a full-length feature. It's expensive to produce, on the scale of things, 60 to 90 million or somewhere in there, depending on how it's done. So we said, all right, it's going to take a while to get that sold. Let's do something else. And so we decided to do the Do Not Reply movie. Now that we're pretty well, done with everything that we need to do for that one, other than, final promotion and marketing, we've worked on 2 scripts. One is a political satire, and another one that we're working on now is actually converting another family project. My oldest daughter, Daniel's oldest sister, Tanya Spencer, has written a number of young adult books. And the one that we're currently turning into a screenplay is called Visions, about a young lady who lives in Durango, Colorado, and has these visions every now and then that let her see things that have happened. It's an interesting concept. Tanya's had a great following online for her books. And so that's our current project right now, is we're working on that screenplay.
So how does it work? You guys are usually in different cities, and especially in this time right now. Are you sending scripts back and forth via email, or how are you guys working on these projects, during this time, and even before, I guess, when a lot of times you're in different places?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do definitely email scripts back and forth. We sometimes get online at the same time and use a collaboration feature in the screenwriting software where we could work on the same document at the same time in script format. And so there's a variety. Sometimes, my dad will write a lot of pages. Sometimes I will, and we'll, add them together and then go through them together. And we usually will, have our fun debates on.
That's what I was going to ask.
And,
when do those happen?
Yeah, and they do. For those of you that don't know Wald, he's an extremely intelligent man who's invented a lot of things in his life, and he's extremely logical and very smart. And so and his background is engineering, and mine's film production. And so, we do see things very differently at times, but however, I think that when we come to an agreement on something, that it fits sort of the both approaches that we are looking at it from, and I think we can get a better product that way.
Walt, do you want to add anything? I don't know if he froze up there, Daniel.
Frozen, yeah. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Well, we'll just wait until he comes back there, I think.
Okay.
So it sounds like you guys are extremely busy, working on a lot of projects, but also having to get this project, out.
For me, it's been, when we first started this, I wondered how well we would work together. What happened? Oh, it's frozen.
Oh, there you are.
You're there.
You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay.
Okay. When we first started this, I wondered how well we would work together. And I have to say, it's been really a fantastic experience. We get into our debates, and sometimes, it's over a single word in a line of dialogue or something. And then you get on set and you change it anyway.
Right, exactly. The actor wants to do it the way they want to do it, right?
Yeah. And we've had some fun things where the actors just, ad-lib something that wasn't in the script, and it turned out to be really cool. And so, we left it in. The actors definitely are more than just puppets. They bring their own so they get into character, and they bring their own perspective on the character, and sometimes they really help. In fact, with Jackson, the character of Brad, when we were looking at wardrobe for him, he really wanted the button-down psychopath look. And so
I think we're at
again.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead. Walt, thank you so much for joining us, Daniel. We can't wait till this movie comes
out to be a perfect way to characterize this character, Brad. So you see, and you're back. Am I back?
Not really.
Not really. We're going to go ahead and move on and show the clip again. We're almost out of time. Walt and Daniel Waltos, again, we're so excited about Do Not Reply coming out soon. Again, Daniel, will you give us the social media channels and the website so everybody can go and put that in their computer so they know when the movie's going to be released?
Absolutely. Go to www.donotReplyMovie.com and you'll find the social media links there. Otherwise, through any of the social media platforms, you can search for Do Not Reply Movie altogether.
Okay, Do Not Reply Movie altogether. All the social media platforms. And again, thank you all for joining us. I know this project has been something I've been waiting for as well. I'm talking to both of you about it. I'm just so happy about the successes that you've had at the film festivals and can't wait until it's released in the theaters and digitally as well so we can all see it. So everybody can see it and the Auburn family as well. Very important topic and really glad that you all were able to make this movie and it's going to be such a success. So thanks again, Daniel. Thank you, Walt.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to show the trailer one more time for everybody. So thanks for everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dylan just sent me a picture of his thing.
Seriously?
I think he's gonna ask me to be his girlfriend. I mean, don't you think so?
How would I know? I can't seem to get a boyfriend.
Yeah, what if you just put yourself out there?
Oh, he's cute. Can I talk to him?
Give it to me.
Oh, so you have a secret admirer.
No, I don't. Hello?
So now you're ready to go on a date?
I think so. I mean, I know we haven't seen each other in person, but I feel like we know more about each other than people who meet normally.
I have an idea. Halloween is this Friday. I saw an ad for a warehouse party.
Okay, what would I go as?
How about a zombie cheerleader? You are the most beautiful dead girl I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Good morning, Sadie.
Brad, you know my name is Chelsea.
Your name is Sadie now.
Who are you? I'm Sadie. I'm stopping us from getting into trouble.
What's your name?
Sadie?
Your real name.
It's Sadie.
Good girl.
You need to bleach your hair now.
What? Why?
Because Brad says so. Everything is because Brad says so.
Is something wrong, Sadie? You can tell me.
I miss my mom.
This is your new family.
Has anyone even tried to find a way out? Don't talk about that.
We have to work together. It's our only chance.
No, we don't.
I'm not your sister, Sadie!
He's planning to kill you. Today.
You're just trying to turn me against him.